Earliest memories of childhood, really around sport and spending time with family, like family events like Christmas and birthdays. It's funny looking back at thinking about what's the first thing that I can remember, and it's not very early in my childhood, but it's when my parents divorced are some of my earliest memories, because that's often where I see where my life started from. I guess when I look to see where things really started to go wrong for me, I guess was one way of putting it, was when my mum had a new partner who had younger kids, and they moved over to Western Australia, and he wanted to move over with them, and mum thought, sure, why not, let's move over too. So I was on my own for the first time in my life. We moved around a couple of times, so I changed high school twice in year 10. And I think it's probably really a bad time to move schools, because by that time in your life you've developed friendships, and I really struggled. So I just started waiting school, and I missed a lot of school, and was really unhappy. Didn't know who to talk to, and so I didn't talk to anybody about what was going on, and that was led to my first attempt, or certainly first thoughts and first attempt to try and take my own life. I remember standing up on a chair outside with the dog's lead tied around my neck, and one end tied to the pergola, and I was standing on there thinking, okay, if I step off, then this is going to be the end. The only way I'm going to be able to kill myself is if I commit a crime, and then I'd have to go to jail, or I couldn't live with the result of what I'd done, so then I'd kill myself. And so I'd made this plan. I always hate talking about it, to rape and murder a friend of my wife's. And so I got stuff together. I thought that I might need to do this, and I'm sitting in my son's room with, for better words, my rape kit, and my little boy's asleep in his cot, and I'm crying to myself quietly because I don't want to wake anybody, thinking, what is going on here? How am I having these thoughts? How can I be making these plans? I don't want to do this. And so of course I didn't speak to anybody about it for a couple of days at least. And then I was over at my mate's house having a couple of beers, and I sort of dropped this bombshell onto him about what I'd sort of been thinking of. And he just turned and looked at me and said, fuck, dude, you really need some help. So then, it's okay, well, what do you do? So my brother took me to emergency, and I spoke to the triage, to a nurse after a while, and she said, oh, look, I can't get you in anywhere. You just go back with your family, and she gave me a tablet, the sleeping pill, to knock me out. And when you're in most need of that support, and when you find that there is nothing, that there is no follow up at all, and it's really left to you or your family to organise all this kind of shit, it really leaves you in a real hole. You really don't know where to go. A lot of the tragedy, I think, with the mental health system is, as much as there are a lot of people and a lot of programs, a lot of people want to help you to get better, and it's a lot of good intentions, is that there is so many gaps in the system where people fall through. Unless you've got that support network in place, then it makes things so much harder. I could be on the streets, and and that's, I think, is the real difference between why people are able to recover and why people maybe don't make it. When you're at that point where you've got all these thoughts flooding through your head, about you're just thinking, I've got to come up with some kind of solution for this. I've got to have an answer. I've got to be able to resolve these things now. That see these coming towards you, and to just sit there and to allow it to flood over you without you engaging in it, without having to really, I guess, acknowledge a lot of the thoughts that are going on. Exercise. I don't know how many times I was told about how great exercise is, and never really did anything about it. But, when you're able to, as I said, get up, get out of bed, get out of the house and do something, you feel so much better.